Hello and welcome. I am Ollie Juno and this is my crafty corner. Today is a stitch with me. If you are a new viewer, thank you for coming in. I hope you enjoy the stitch with me today. I am working on one of my long dogs. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming in. I hope you enjoy the video today. I'm doing something real quick. Sorry, I thought I had everything set up and ready to go, but of course I don't. Let's see. Alright. Alright, so today is June the 16th, 2022. It is 1:20 in the afternoon. I don't normally get to stream weekdays, but I did take today off because I had a vet appointment and a doctor's appointment, and since I'm waiting on a call from the vet, yeah, we're just kind of gonna go from there. I decided I was going to, I had thought about working on my my Dreaming of Being Human today, but I decided I would work on my Sans-Souci, I think is what it's called, mainly because I have one of the people from my video, my floss tube yesterday, was asking questions, well, not actually asking a question, but saying that they're wanting to start Pandemic Long Dog, and they want to use silks, but you know, they don't know much about silks and all that stuff. I don't know much either, but I figured I'd give my 2 cents and I'd show what I'm doing with my silk and variegated, so maybe that'll give them an idea. I know I've talked about it a little bit on a couple of my floss tubes, but so with my variegated that I got, in my opinion, the biggest thing is to figure out where you're going to cut it, because it all comes basically all together, and then you have to cut where you want your variegation to go. When I got mine, I wasn't sure, and then I showed it to my middle daughter because she's real good with colors, and you know, she's very artistic and whatever. So I showed it to her when this was wrapped up and before this got cut, and she was the one that stated that I should cut it in the center of the black. That way I have black on one side and black on the end as well. So it's blends a little better in the variegation, you know, so it's like you're black on black, instead of going from pink to blue, you know, it continues to do the blend all the way through. No, I don't think on it too hard, but when I'm getting my new thread and I'm threading my needle, I actually try to make sure that I thread where, well, I've changed it up. When I first started, I threaded where the purple was at the back, but recently I've been threading where the blue is up here. So like I've got the blue up by the needle part, so I end on blue. That's what I've been doing for the last few strands, and I'm really liking it. So that's what I'm going to try to remember to do, but if I don't, it's not that big of a deal. There's no right or wrong way as far as I can tell for variegations. And as for using 1 or 2 threads, truthfully, that depends on the fabric that you're using. It depends on how thick you want it to be. I do not like real thick thread, like I don't like bulkiness on my fabrics, on my thread. So like, you know, this is 28 count. I would not be able to do this two strands of silk. Even though, you know, it's not that thick, I could probably do it because it's not like DMC. But for me, I don't like it. It's not gonna work. I don't really plan where the route I'm stitching. I just go like, well, let me take that back. I do. Like on this particular one, I stitched this side over here, down and over, and then back up. And I did that on purpose because I wanted the black to line up around the same area. I didn't want to feed it all the way across. Just a personal preference, I guess. I don't know. It was just the way I decided to do it. Like on Pandemic, I could definitely see where, like if you know you have a little animal coming up, you could try to make sure you got all that one particular color. If it was a small motif. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot. This is my first time ever working with silk. This is my first time working variegated. I don't know, I went headlong in. It's like, oh, I want to try silk. Oh, look at this variegated. Really, what it was I went looking at silk and found the variegated silk and was like, I can't pass that color up. It's got my favorite colors. You know, I love blue, I love purples, and I like most pinks. I have a lot of black items. I have no problem with black. So it was like, yeah, that I have to have it. It's not something I will, silk is not something I will be able to get a lot of, as I don't have the money for it. And it depends on how big the pattern is that you're working on how much you're going to need. Now Pandemic is way larger than this one. This one is nowhere near the size of Pandemic, so I was able just to buy one hank, and by my calculations I should have more than enough to cover it. Hopefully. So unless I've gotten my calculations wrong, yeah. So, but yeah, that's the only thing you got to worry about buying variegated, is unless it's a I think there's some that are like made consistently and you can buy them again and again. When it comes to hand dyed or like stuff like that, they don't always make the same colors from what I've noticed. So yeah, but I definitely love working on this pattern. I've been switching back and forth between my long dogs here recently. Like last night I worked on Pandemic. I put about 350 stitches into it, so I was happy about that. And then, like I said, today when I saw the issues the one person was, having questions about, I decided, hey, I'll just work on this. Even though I know I've said multiple times that I won't do my long dogs on camera because every time I've done it so far, I've had to frog. But, oh well. Let's just hope the frog stays away. So, yeah. Unfortunately, that's about all I have on my silks. Silk knowledge, which is very, very, very limited. But I just wanted to, like, mention, give my 2 cents of what I could decide and knew about, and how I came up with my idea for using silks. And of course, go away. Sorry. I'll have to edit that out. Of course. Alright. So, yeah. See, like, this did exactly what I wanted it to do. All my dark color was enough that it looks like 90% of it went away all the way across, but I didn't. Now I'm not too worried about the color coming through on the back of the fabric. It's not that big of a deal to me. I don't know. To me, it's like, okay, so what if it does? Alright. Looks like, yep, do that one too. Sorry for the lawnmower outside. It always seems about right when I decide to do something. We got noisy people outside. Okay, I go down over. Make sure I'm at my right spot here. I'm just going to continue over. I went to today. Like I said, I took the day off. I took my ferrets to the vet. My girl ferret has a little, well, it's not really very little anymore. They have a tumor on the tail end of their tail. And so we're having that removed today. Most likely it is benign. Ferrets tend to fairly common get those little get tumors that are, like, benign tumors. The doctor said that if after they remove it, if it doesn't look like the normal tumors that she thinks it is, then we'll send it off to make sure that it's benign. But she said that if she's, positive that it is what she was thinking it is, then we're not going to worry about it because that'll save me a little bit of money on them. She's been she's an exotic pet vet, has been for years and years, so now I'm just waiting for their call to let me know it's time to come get the ferrets. I dropped them off at 8 o'clock this morning. And then I went to my doctor's appointment, which, nothing to update on that. I'll know, like, we're just kind of playing the waiting game. Nothing important. Just got a test coming up that I need to do in July, so. But. So, yeah, we're gonna do this. Like, I do a little bit of the, like, I don't even know what this method is called. Um, Running stitch? I don't know. Just kind of cross a little bit and then just do the one side and then come back with the other side. I have no idea what that stitch is called. With variegated floss, I don't go very far because it will get in the way. Where am I? Alright, I'm gonna mark off my stuff here. I'm confused. Okay, so I've done those. I did here, 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 here. Here. Here, here. Okay, gotcha. I just kind of confused myself. I was like, wait, this isn't looking right, but it's right. Alright, and then we're here. Yep, okay. Let's see. The cats are getting along okay. I don't know if you've watched any of my last two, my plus tube number 48. That one dated and showed the new kittens we got. They're doing okay. The kittens are little love bugs. I love it. When I'm working in the downstairs, a lot of times, my daughter's cat, Ritzy, she's the black and white tuxedo. She actually comes over and jumps up in my lap. So, and she'll sit there and I can pet on her while I'm working. Now, she only sits there for about 10, maybe about 10 minutes, but that's still more than any of my current cats will. Or our other two cats will. So. Our other kitten, Reese's, she is the noisiest of the two. She will walk around meowing. She wants attention. And if you call out to her, she'll come and let you pet on her. But she likes those hard pets. Like, the easiest way to get her to lay down and quit moving is to start petting her so hard you push her body down. It's so weird. My husband, like, she loves when my husband pets her, because he's he pets real rough, and she like stands at the door begging to get into the room because she wants his pets. And surprisingly enough, my husband's not too keen on cats. Well, he's not a big animal person, period. But she's one of the only ones that he will allow into the room and not try to run her out. Until she starts trying to climb on things. But if she comes in and lays down, then he's perfectly fine letting her stay in there. It's just when she starts trying to go climb on top of his computer and stuff, because he does not like the animals near his computer and stuff, because if something happened to it, then he'd throw a fit. Which I think is funny is because I let the cats climb all over my stuff. They climb on top of my tower. They climb behind my monitors. It's just like, okay. They've never once come close to knocking it over, but you just can't stand it. He does not like when they climb on his stuff. But, oh well. Let's see. I apologize. I probably have like a gleam of sweat on my brow here. If you can hear my fan in the background, I'm really sorry about that, but I cannot. I cannot sit in here without the fan. Our AC sucks. I don't even know if you can say we have AC. If I run the temperature where it would actually help cool off the house, it'll freeze up. It will literally freeze and ice over the system, and then we have no air at all. So I have to leave the temperature at like a high, the mid 70s, so that it doesn't freeze on us. And unfortunately, when it's like 90 something degrees outside, it doesn't help all that much. Now, downstairs stays cool, but the vents up here in the townhouse part of the house, it's like we have no vents. I can feel the air on my feet because where my desk is sitting at is right across over the vent. So I can feel the air on my feet, and it's just like barely a trickle. But there's not much they can do or will do for that. Sorry, he was making noise back there. Yeah, there's not much they can do or will do with the upstairs vents. But oh well, we're managing. They're supposed to be coming out to look at it to find out if they can fix it from freezing up when I lower the temperature too low. And I mean, I'm not even talking about super low. It's just like if I put the temperature at like 65, 70 for more than 3 hours, it starts to ice over. It's retarded. Like, it's too hot out. Not like I'm putting it on the lowest setting and leaving it running every day 24/7. Truthfully, during the daytime, the way we like to do it is we like to put it at 70 during the day, and then at night we like to put it on like 65. Yeah, 60. We like to put it at 60 at night because we like it to get real cold at night, and then we turn it off, you know, either off or up in the mornings, because there's no sense in having it that high. Alright, so my thing, what I'm going to do here is I'm not going to come up here where my next stitch is. I'm actually going to go ahead and start here because I don't want to start my line here, and I don't have enough color to do the cross all the way across. Sorry, he's being a little bit noisy behind me. I apologize. But so we're gonna go this route, I mean, it does take it from purple to blue, but I don't think nobody's really going to notice, and it's not going to make any difference whether it does or doesn't. It's just a preference of the way I want to stitch it. I don't know. It's kind of an OCD thing for me. I hate coming into the middle of the lane. Like on my pandemic, if I would have had that, I would have done half stitches all the way across and then filled them so that I could start at the beginning of the line instead of ending up halfway. I don't know. That's just a personal thing. Let's see. What was I talking about? I really don't remember what I was just talking about. Okay. Sorry about that. If I was in the middle of a conversation and didn't finish my sentences or didn't finish my thought, I apologize. But I literally have no clue what I was just discussing. When I go back over and listen to this video, I'll be like, oh, that's what it was. Alright, give me just a minute here. Mark off what I've done. There we go. Now, the question is do I want to go down? So I'm running out of threads. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go down and finish my threads out here. Yeah. So, go ahead and pull this up. All right. Actually, this starts at the same spot. Alrighty. Let's see. Now let's see what I want to talk about, because I don't know what I was just talking about. Oh, I remember I was talking about the AC and the heat and the, yeah, see, it came back. So yeah, hopefully the apartment complex can get out here and look at the AC so we can go back to cooling it off at night and everything like that. Because like right now, if I put the AC at 60 tonight at like when I go to bed around 10 p.m. by the time I get up at 6 in the morning, it's frozen. And it didn't used to do that. And then like even if I leave it at 70, I have to turn it off for hours at a time so it doesn't freeze over. It's, you know, it's agitating. So, because I have, if I can cool down the bottom half of the house, I have fans that are bringing the cool air from downstairs upstairs. And then I got fans in the hallway to blow the air into my room. I could buy window units, but I don't like window units. I always feel like they're gonna fall out. And they block up so much of my window, it's crazy. We did buy a portable air conditioner to keep in the room with my husband, because he is he's not good with the heat. The hotter he gets, the worse he feels. He's got fibromyalgia, neuropathy, diabetes, crankiness. Oh, sorry. No. So it's better, like, I have that one, you know, we have the portable AC in his room, in our room, so that he can keep it cool at night so he can actually get some sleep. Which I have no problem with because I sleep better in a cool room. So, but like I said, I can't wait till we can get the AC fixed, so maybe we don't have to run the portable AC as much as we have been here recently. Hopefully the pool, pool. You know where my thoughts just went. Hopefully the apartment complex will soon get everything, somebody out here to look at the AC for us. Alrighty, let's see. Anybody have, I wonder, anybody got any big plans for the 4th of July? I personally do not. I know my daughter's birthday is the 29th of June. One or two things are going to happen on that. One, I will be taking her to meet her friend, and they are coming back here for a couple of days. Or Knox, my oldest, is going to go with her friend and visit down there, and then proceed from there. Because it's a birthday trip. The girl, they're wanting to get together for Knox's birthday. She's turning 19 this year. No, she does not drive. Doesn't, you know, doesn't have a job. She has real bad social anxiety. So work just doesn't work out very well for her. We are looking into seeing if we can get her on disability, because like they have tried to work, but it just doesn't work out very well. They last about a week before their anxiety gets a hold of them, and they make themselves sick with worry and what ifs. She has real bad paranoia, and I don't remember the diagnosis, but basically it's a diagnosis stating that she has unrealistic views of life. So she's got some, you know, issues that we're not able to just ease out, but she has tried. She's gone to work a couple of different times, and every time it's too much for her. So I've told her, don't worry about it. You know, she'll come up to me and be like, should I go try and get a job? And I'm like, I know you want money, but no, I don't think it'll work. If you really want to put the effort to it, then I'm not going to, you know, I'll be there for you, and I'll support you as well as I can, but you've got to take into consideration how much stress and trouble that it puts them through. I would give her an allowance if she would do chores around the house, but she just has the mindset that she doesn't need to do anything for mom and dad. They do it for her because we love her. So I don't give her allowance because I can't get her to do any of the chores. Now, if she really wants something, she'll come to me and be like, what can I do? And I'll give her things that I want her to get done before I would pay her. But I have to get the work from her before I give her anything, because otherwise I'm just giving her for free because she won't do it. I mean, it's like, I'm not even asking much. It's like, oh, go do the dishes. You know, go do a couple loads of laundry, you know, clean the hallway, little stuff, you know, not even big things. But oh wait, was I going to go back that way? Hold on. This stopped. Here. Yeah. Mark that. So am I going to continue? Yeah, I'm going to continue. So like when I'm stitching on long dogs, I don't always stay in the same area when I finish a thread. A lot of times when I finish a thread, I will move to another area. Oh, yes. Try this one more time, see if I can do this without pulling the thread all the way through. Okay. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see. Yeah, as like I said, as for plans for the 4th of July, I don't have any. We're probably not even buying any kind of fireworks. What really is going to suck is I work both the 4th of July on the 4th of July. So, and everybody around here loves to do their fireworks around 11, 12 o'clock at night, which I'm normally trying to sleep because I have to get up so early in the morning. So I might try to take a nap during the day on that day just so that I'm not super tired the next day, because I know they're gonna wait to shoot fireworks until midnight. For one, it doesn't really even get dark right now till around 9:30 or about 10 o'clock. I'd say it gets dark. So yeah, I've not been paying attention. I really hope I've been keeping my fingers out of the way. Alright. On to the next thing. Oh, I'm gonna talk about Saturday. I went to what one of my friends called it a day retreat. The Stitchy Club. That was so much fun. There was like, I would say there was about 12 other people there besides me. Everybody was working on different things. Another lady was working on a long dog sampler. It was gorgeous. I don't remember which one she was working on though. Now, a couple of the ones that were there this weekend are not going to be there the next weekend that we go. So, but it's all good. I had a blast. I've already signed up for the next session, and I am, you know, so looking forward to going. I'm not sure what I'm going to take. When I went on Saturday, I took my 2 dragons with me, which was really cool. Truthfully, let's see, I was there from like 10 or 10 something like that. I was there until like 4, and I think I got like 200 stitches in. I was just talking and getting to know people and just having fun. Going out, looking at all the patterns they had and the fabric they had. As y'all saw, if you watched my floss tube, I did walk home with three different fabrics. Not 100% sure what I'm doing with them, but I think I have an idea for the red one. But I'm still debating on that one. I'm not 100% sure. But like I said, I've already signed up for the month of July, and so I'm looking forward to that one when we're ready to go again. See, like I said, I don't know. From what they were saying, the Stitchy group only showed up here more recently, so really cool. Really glad that I found it and I was able to participate in it. I think next time I go, I think I'm going to bring one of my long dogs with me. I just got to figure out which one I'm going to bring. I was the only one that had a stand of any kind. Everybody else was holding theirs by their hand. I'm not good at stitching with just my hand, like holding it in hand. I have to have my stand. So, like I said, I could bring this one with me. I can bring my castles in the air with me. That would be a little harder due to it being black fabric, but they do have an area where I could take a lamp and plug in my light so I can see. I would like to take Pandemic, but I'm not sure I have a good lap stand for it with how big it is, being that it's about 18 inches long. I'd have to, if I was going to take it, I'd have to take it off the frame and put it in a Q-snap and wrap up the fabric. And I'm not sure I want to do that. I like leaving my projects on their frames. I do not like taking them off. So, I don't know. I'm not taking a floor stand with me. Nah, I don't think that would work very well. But, yeah. I don't know. I don't know, maybe I'll take a completely different project with me. I have no clue what I would take with me the next time I go. I might take more than one, just so I can switch up, because I do get tired of stitching on the same thing. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Oops, I pulled it right on off the thread. I have almost hit. I think I'm gonna finish this thread, and I think I'm gonna call it. Oops, come on. It's fighting me. There we go. I like the fact that I can stitch here at my desk, but I tend to slouch over my work more than I plan on, because it's a little on the lower side, especially when I'm streaming. I can bring it up when I'm not streaming, but normally I like to go sit in my chair and relax. So I can sit over there and kick my feet out. It's real comfy. I know my son is looking forward to me getting off this so he can go back to playing his game. As you can tell, Mr. Mopey Butt back there. Mopey Butt. He wants to go back to playing his, I think it's Friday Night Funk is what it's called. Huh? What? F and F. Okay, it likes to be called F and F. I don't know. I wasn't either. Sorry. Yeah, so. But I asked him not to play it because it's a very, like, he gets very into it, even with headsets on, and it clangs real loud, and my yeah, words. My microphone seems to pick it up real big, so. Like I said, if by chance my job offers us to get off work early on the 4th of July, I will try to do a live stream. It all depends. We are working that day because some of our clients do work, but if we're not busy, it's possible they'll let people go home. My thing is I normally just go ahead and work it because we're not very busy, and that's extra money in my pocket. I get paid for 8 hours plus whatever I work that day, so I can get 16 hours of pay that day. So normally I just continue and stay and work. Plus, they don't normally start reaching out for people to go home till around like 1, which by that time I've only got about 3 hours to go. And what do I normally do when I'm not working? Stitching. On days like that, I can easily stitch on my projects with no issues. This holiday may actually be a little different for me because things have changed a little bit. I have used to have multiple clients that I worked, and they've recently moved me to more of a dedicated client. I am mainly taking just the one particular client's calls, and have been removed from my other ones, just because they really enjoyed my service, like how I do my calls. They really enjoy it, so they wanted me to be basically every call I take is 90% theirs. So that's been interesting this week, because normally, like I said, we have different clients that call in, and the program tells us who's calling so that we give the right spell. But with me only having the one, I don't really have to worry about it. I can have all the information up that I need because I know exactly who's calling. So that's been pretty cool. To have some, have your job appreciate you and love the way you work enough that they're like, oh, we want more. They had a training video recently, and I don't know if I've mentioned this, but they reached out to me asking me to be the person that did the training video. So basically, the correct way to do a call and the incorrect way to do a call, which, you know, thank you, but at the same time, anxiety. And then I had to actually do that training course. And can you say cringe when you hear yourself talking on the phone? It's like, oh, it's like, no, I hate it. I hate it. Get it out of my ears. But, I mean, I know very few people who actually like the sound of their own voice. Like, I cringe. That's why a lot of times you'll get videos posted with no editing. Because I hate watching myself. I hate listening to myself. I don't like rewatching the videos to make sure that they're correct. I know I need to, but like I'm going to have to edit this one because of the phone call earlier. But I hate it. The thought of it. It's like I'm gonna go try to fast forward it to the part where I see where it's calling so I can snip it out. Yeah. It's like, no, no, nope, I don't want to see that. Don't want to see that. Not at all. But, we have a new floss tube person to go check out today. Just ran across them today. Somebody who commented on my channel, they said they're going to be working on this same pattern. So I looked at their name and realized that they have a floss tube as well. So I was like, oh yes, I gotta go check them out. So as soon as I get off here, I will be going to go check them out. If you haven't, I'm pretty sure you should definitely go check out Kel's Stitches. Kels Stitches. From the little bit of I've seen, she's got some really cool projects. But she said that this one is coming into her rotation soon, so I was like, oh, I definitely got to go check that out. So I haven't seen this one. I don't recall seeing anybody working on this one before. Just like the Castles in the Sky. I haven't really, like anybody I watch, don't currently have it being worked on. I don't see very many people that show Pandemic either. But Pandemic's been out for a while and a lot of people have already done it. Because a lot of people were able to get it back when it was offered for free. I didn't get it offered for free, but I'm not complaining. It's still worth it. Oh, wait. Alright, and when I finish this row, I'm going to be done. And I will show how I end my stitch. This is the way I end for almost any count fabric that I currently use. Any count thread, it doesn't matter. Actually, I might have to go a little further because this is not as short as I thought it would be. Uh-oh. Hold on a minute. There's one, two. There's one, two. Let me mark my work here. think I'm in the wrong spot. I'm gonna have to frog. Yep, I'm gonna have to frog. So I was not paying attention to the pattern. Come on, don't do that. See if I can go back to where I need to. Okay, so 3 back. 1, there's 2, there's 3. Okay. Had to take 3 stitches out. I think it was 3. I was on a roll. I was just stitching away. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and we'll start here. Alright. Yeah, we're going to end this at this. Because the thread's getting a little bare at the end here. One more stitch after here. Sometimes I will go to where there's even less thread hanging on my needle. Sometimes I don't. Alright. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up the... Here, let me scooch in just a little so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Look away for me. Alright. So I came up this hole. I've got my first crossover. This is my last final cross. I came up this hole. I'm going back down the hole I just came up. I'm going to hold my thread up here. And then I'm going to come down the bottom hole. And then I'm going to loop it. Which that gave, you know, doing the up and down gave me a loop. So now I'm going to pull it. And now I'm going to go back down the hole here. So now that is finished with a loop finish. So now I'm going to come back up here because this is still a dark color. And I'm just going to tack it up underneath this stitch. So like I try to go right into the middle of it. I can feel it catch. There, there. Now it's tacked down and it's not going anywhere. And that's that. And that is how I end my stitches 90% of the time. Every now and then I'll run it where I don't have enough to create the loop at the end, and then I'll feed it back underneath it. Now with Ada, sometimes if I do that where I can't make the loop, I'll tack stitch down like 2 to 3 different times under other stitches. But there we go. Alrighty, so that is the end, and that is my work. I don't know if that helped any or if it confused anybody else more. Everybody has their own way to stitch. In my opinion, there is no right or wrong way. I don't know how stitching with 2 threads with this would be. The only thing I could figure is you wouldn't be able to do the actual take one strand, loop it. You'd have to take 2 strands and work at the same time. At least that is just my thought on it. Unless you just like, I don't know. I'm not sure how you would do 2 strands with variegated floss at all. But alright, so this is the end of me today. Let me mark what I've got done. There we go. I got 212 stitches in, which is not bad for about an hour's worth of work. That's not bad at all. But when you don't have to change threads, it really does make a difference. Oh. Itchy eye, itchy eye. Alright. I have had fun chit-chatting with everybody. I'm glad I had the time to do it today. I don't know when my next stitch with me will be. I may try to do another one this weekend. I don't know. I don't want to make any promises. Anytime I really try to plan, it just doesn't happen. My stitchy bug has kind of come and gone. Some days it's real big, some days it's not. I don't know. I've almost got my living room all set up where I can start making my craft bags again. So I may spend a day doing that. I don't know. We will see. So I'm gonna say good night, goodbye. I hope everybody had a great time visiting with me today, and I hope everybody has a great week, and I will see you later. Bye. Happy stitching.